Hi everyone, I'm back finally. I promised I'd get to video number 12, and here it is. I like to keep my promises. That's one thing if you know about me. So, I've been MIA. I had a few health issues, but they're mostly getting resolved. So, I'm back, and this week we're going to be talking about relationships. So, relationships are hard, but they're easy to let go of because it's easy to say, we're going to break up, we're going to get divorced. I met my husband 50 years ago at college, and we've been married for 33 years, even though we have been together for longer than that. So a lot of times people say, oh, how could you be with one person? How could you, stay that long? How could you put up with all of these things? And it's kind of like a two-way street. So you put up with some of their stuff, they have to put up with a lot of your stuff, and you have to figure out what are the battlegrounds. So what is it that you are going to make your stand on? As they say, where are you going to draw that line in the sand? So if you can't live with a person who doesn't put the cap back on the toothpaste, if you can't live with a person who doesn't pick up all their dirty clothes all the time and puts them in a hamper, if you can't live with someone who doesn't wash their dishes right away, or if you're into using the dishwasher, puts them into the dishwasher and then remembers to turn the dishwasher on, then those are going to be your battle lines. But if you look at how the people treat you, especially when you are not at your best. So let's say you happen to get sick. Do they take care of you? Do they ensure that you're taking your medications? Do they, want you to get better? Look at those kinds of things. Like, how do they treat you during the difficult moments of your life? And if that person's concern and care is only on you and ensuring that you're okay, then maybe you can overlook that toothpaste cap that isn't put on. Sometimes my husband does that, and it's not, now it's not a cap anymore. It's like the cap is attached, and you see it. So why is it not closed? And you know what? I look at it now, and when it used to irk me, now I just pick it up and close it if it hasn't been done. So it's easy to quit. It's easy to say, that's it, we're done. It's easy to move on to somebody else, and then somebody else, and somebody else, because the truth is, there's never going to be a perfect person. There's never going to be someone that, you know, has 100% every single thing that you might want. Just like you're not perfect. And just like, I know I have a lot of stuff that I don't like to do, like housework. I don't like to cook. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It means I don't like to do it. And if someone else wants to take on that job, I happily relinquish it. Here you go. Go ahead and do it. So it's decide what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to go, what are you willing to give up of yourself, or I don't even think it's giving up of yourself. What are you going to be willing to contribute in the relationship so that that relationship can grow? And it's not always going to be easy. You're not going to be laughing every single day at their jokes or them at yours. And everything you do is not going to end up being cute. And it's not going to be a bed of roses every day. There's going to be a lot of tough times. But if you learn to communicate, if you learn to say, right at the moment, don't let things build up, because when things build up, then they explode. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to come from a place of explosions where you are ready to just attack someone. So when something happens in that particular moment, you have to say, wait a minute, explain to me why you said that. Because sometimes what we think was said, but it didn't mean what we thought it did. So sometimes you need the other person to explain why they said what they said in the way that they said it. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you've been in any relationship, you know that sometimes your partner will say something out of left field. And if you react to what was said, that's going to be a problem. But if you just say, why did you say that? Explain that to me. And they explain it, you're going to realize that half the time, if not three-fourths of the time, it doesn't even mean what you thought it meant. They're saying, they're coming from a whole different perspective. And sometimes it might change your perspective. So the one key I would say is communication is key. It's important. And it took me a while to learn that. Sometimes there was a lot of discussions, and arguments and disagreements because I didn't explain what you're thinking or what you're trying to say. And so you model that, because the other person doesn't always know how to do that either. But you do it enough that they begin to pick up on it and say, oh, wow, we're not arguing as much. Maybe I should come from, this other way. Another thing I learned from even work is to say, use the I'm confused. I'm confused why you would say that. I'm confused at why you would think that. Tell me why. And again, it gives you a look into how they're thinking. My husband has a saying that we laugh about, but he says everybody's clock is not the same. And what he means is we all don't process things in the same way. We all don't process things at the same time. Some of us take a little longer. Some of us get it quick. Some of us move ahead. So all our clocks, the internal workings, are different. And so since we don't have x-ray vision, we can't, look into someone's brains and see what they're thinking. We have to ask the questions. And a lot of us are not used to talking. So we need to really, really learn to communicate. And sometimes you need to step away. Step away from the situation. Say, I'm not dropping this. I just need to get a different perspective for a moment, or I just need to get a breath of fresh air, or I just need to step away. I need to step away, and then we'll come back to it later when I can discuss it more rationally. I mean, who doesn't understand that? We've all, gone off the deep end and screamed and yelled and carried on and think the person is trying to hurt us. And if you think about it, if someone loves you, why would they purposely try to hurt you? So it's not about that. Sometimes it's about our own insecurity. So you might have to do a self-check and say, why am I reacting this way? Why are these things happening? And so it might be something that happened to you before, and now you're just reacting to that and adding this to it. It might be that's one of your triggers. Like, I have a few triggers even now, even though I know which ones they are, and I know if people say them, they're going to trigger me, and I work on them, but sometimes I don't catch myself quick enough and I react to it. So I would say that learning to communicate effectively is the key. And I'm not saying yelling, screaming, and all of that. I'm saying true communication, willing to stop everything and listen to what the other person says. And don't give up. Like, a lot of us just want to give up. It's easy to give up. It is so, so easy. And that doesn't mean I'm telling you stay in an abusive relationship, stay in a relationship that really doesn't work. But that means if the person has some good qualities that are redeemable, if you love that person, you feel that they love you, then communicate with them. Communication is really the key. And do things with your partner. Sometimes I see that people like to go out with their friends, they like to hang out with their buddies, they like to do things with everyone except their partner. So hang out with your partner. Your partner should technically be one of your closest friends, because they know all about you. They see you, they've seen the whole of you. So why would you not want to spend time with them? I'm not saying don't have friends. I'm not saying don't go out with friends. But I'm saying make your partner a friend. So those two things, I think, will help any relationship. And I think I said 3. So communication, don't give up, and make your partner your friend. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and send the video to your friends. As you see, I have my famous Pellegrino there. I need it more than ever because one of the side effects of my recent health crisis is that my mouth gets extremely dry. I know, TMI, but that's me. So I have to have it all the time, if not some other kind of water. So I look forward to the next video, and I look forward to talking with you. Feel free to make a comment. Feel free to share any ideas or add any that you might have about what can help a relationship. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Be safe and be well.